Well, hello everyone, and welcome to this week's episode of Hyperfixation, the podcast, your weekly deep dive into the niche and the eccentric. Today, we're looking at a brand new release of one of the first games I ever fell in love with. This is Halo Campaign Evolved, the 25th anniversary remake of Halo Combat Evolved, a launch release for the original Xbox, and it's been brought up to a modern standard for today. Since the first game came out, Halo has just become this massive multimedia franchise. It spawned books, it spawned comics, it spawned a very large amount of games across different genres. There's been some real-time strategy games with the Halo Wars games, but Halo is ostensibly a first-person shooter. As a game, we're just talking about the original one here, follows the story of Master Chief and Cortana as they arrive under hot pursuit from enemy Covenant forces and arrive on what they discover to be a Halo. It's a game series I fell in love with. I've played all of the Halo games. I replayed the main games on Legendary. I did a solo Legendary run up to Infinite for the launch of Infinite, so then I could play Infinite. I've not yet gone back and played Infinite on Legendary. I think I really enjoyed Infinite. It's an open world version, and it was a launch title, I think, for the Xbox Series X, which was a few years ago now. So Halo is now sort of making a bit of a comeback with this redo of the original game. And I've not played it yet. I've tried to avoid looking at trailers and re-releases just so I can have a raw reaction. It's one of my favorite games. It's a lot of people's favorite game, the first Halo game. It has an epic campaign, and I think we're just going to dive into it. So lovely that the opening title screen from the first one has been recreated in such a way. We're going to play the game and then talk sort of about the series and about what I like about the series, the inspirations it draws from. So the first thing we can talk about is customization. So in the original, for the single player campaign, you couldn't customize your armor. If you played in split screen co-op with one other person, they would just be like a clone of Master Chief, so you'd both be identical. But they've introduced some customizations of armors, and there's some pretty funky ones. But I have unlocked here the Mark V, which is just the OG Master Chief, green and gold, the green suit and the gold visor. And then they've launched a silver anniversary. So it's the silver and this sort of cyan color they've got running through it, which I think it looks great. It's because it's 25 years. And then there's the Damascus prototype, which is a translucent green like the original Xbox, which is really cool. So they released that on social media this morning. So the game, this is release day. This is release day for the main copy. And it has been available for players for 5 days if you had pre-ordered it or bought the premium edition. But this is the launch of it. And it is launched on other consoles for the first time as well. This might be the true end of the console wars. I know in terms of being able to play a game on a console, and now there's I can't remember what's the game that started. I think maybe Overwatch started a cross-platform multiplayer, so somebody on an Xbox could play with somebody on a PlayStation. I think Halo getting released on a PlayStation is the true end of the console wars. It's a Microsoft game. It is Microsoft's flagship game series. And so for them to go, oh yeah, chuck it on a PlayStation, I think is the true end of the console wars. So I know they've got a whole bunch of different weapons from the later games that they've added in. They revealed that early on. So I think the battle rifle from Halo 2, the sword, the energy sword, they've added back into this one. I think the plans were originally to have a battle rifle and an energy sword and the fuel rod cannon for the first game. Plans were scrapped sort of further into development. What this game also has that the original game hasn't is collectibles. So they've got skulls and terminals, which they started, I think, in Halo CE Anniversary. So this is the second remake of this game. The first one was Halo Combat Evolved Anniversary. And it had this really cool feature, much like Croc, the Legend of the Gobbos remake, which I filmed an episode for. I'm not sure when this episode's coming out. because Croc might be after. I don't know. I've recorded it. Anyway, it's what a lot of games have done now is you can swap between modern and the original graphics sort of at the click of a button. So made in a similar engine and basically playing two versions of the game at the same time. But this is a completely rebuilt game. It is built from the ground up, from scratch. It's got things in the game, as part of even the customization of the game and settings that players of the original would have, I know, is just crazy to look at now. So for instance, you can change a Warthog driving. So Warthog controls for the first, basically for all Halo games is aim-based. So it's wherever the camera is pointing, that's where the Warthog drives. In this, you can just drive it like a normal car. So you can have the option to do that, which is, that's bonkers. Even that, like that alone is like, that's crazy. I'm gonna, there's also keyboard and mouse settings, which is cool. Also, let's be real. It might be the best theme in gaming. I'm not sure. I think it's up there. I know like a lot of people will probably cite the Final Fantasy games as having the best music in games. Mario, you could make a very good case for. I think the Halo games, like the theme especially, is just like top notch. Just something else. So anyway, look, we should probably get into the game now. What's thing that I was quite excited for? So they've got the original campaign, lovingly recreated, adding in an all new voice lines and motion capture cutscenes that have all been sort of filmed. What they've got, though, is some bonus missions. So they've got a mini campaign set 1 year before the events of Halo Campaign Evolved. The Master Chief and Sergeant Johnson embark on a daring mission to steal valuable navigation data from a Covenant research ship in this 3-mission bonus campaign experience. This is brand new Halo, and I'm going in. So in terms of difficulty, I'm going to be replaying this a lot. So I'm just going to play this on normal. And we're going to play boarding action. Rally point out. Also, checkpoints. You can open up a mission and select a checkpoint. I did see that. Really exciting. I'm just going to play a few levels of solo, and then I might jump on with Taylor. He gave me a ring earlier. He saw I was online and was like, "Are you playing Halo?" And it's like, "Yeah, I am. I'm recording for the podcast, but yeah, I might jump in with you guys a bit later." And here we go. We're about to start. Halo. And the original loading screen they've recreated. That's pretty sick, actually. 2551. Approximately 1 year before the Halo event. An alien alliance known as the Covenant has invaded human space, destroying our worlds and decimating our fleets. The United Nations Space Command has been desperate to strike at the heart of the alien empire, but have yet to learn its location. Above the glassed human colony of Promise orbits a massive Covenant research ship, a prize that the UNSC hopes will point the way to the Covenant homeworld and ultimately to victory for humanity. Cool. So it's set a year before. I'm not sure if this ties into the books in any way. I know the books are a big part of the franchise. So in terms of the games, like, I was a real fan of the first three. Halo 1, 2, and 3, and I feel like it's a great trilogy, especially now you can replay all the remastered ones, and we've got some fancy-looking grunts. And a Covenant dropship has flown into the hangar bay. I believe they're called Revenants? I know a Covenant ship type is called a Revenant. I'm not sure if it's those or the sort of, there's like placenta-looking ones. Oh yeah, the detail is amazing on all their armors and stuff. It's got to be Chief, right? Oh no, it's going to be Johnson. Johnson's going to pop out. They have done literally the Millennium Falcon. This is really actually cool and exciting, the way they're building up to a reveal. For audio listeners, they're just slowly opening side segments of the ship, inspecting it. Boo. Yeah, cool. Here he is. It's the Chief. And he's got a battle rifle. And sprint. Oh, and And the Magnum. Oh, gee, it's nice to have the Magnum back. And like the proper Magnum. Like the Magnum was quite nerfed in future games. The Halo 1 Magnum is one of the most powerful weapons in gaming, for those who aren't aware. They've re-recorded all the voice lines, so they got back the 2 voice actors, Steve Downes and Jen Taylor, who voiced Chief and Cortana, and I think everyone else might be a recast from the original game for different reasons. Okay, I see what they've done here, so I might even change some controls. I sort of don't want grenades on my left bumper. That's not Halo to me. So I might even do green thumbs. That might be the way to go. Grenades are left trigger, as they should be. So, while we're here, we might as well look at some Covenant weapons. So we've got... This is the plasma pistol. This is the charge up. So you charge up a plasma pistol to then shoot it at an elite, and at an elite to get rid of their shields. I'm never a big plasma pistol guy. I do like a plasma rifle. Oh, I've entered a cutscene. I'm going back to the dropship. I must be going to get Johnson. Here he is.
Just couldn't save any from me, could you?
I feel his helmet's different. It's like a Mark 6 helmet or something.
Are you ready to get to it?
This new guy's good. He's not the same. It's not the same voice, but it's pretty close.
Layout matches. Until we find a way to cram an AI into that suit of yours, it's the best option we got.
Cute. Nice little reference to Cortana.
That's what Naval Intelligence provided, confirming a route to the ship's command center.
So I think Chief there had more voice lines than he did in the entire original first game. We've got Jackals with their shields. There's a Needler.
Quiet if I go ahead.
Yeah, he's doing a good job of Johnson. Like, it's not the same. Like, there are sound bites and characters from the first games that just sort of live in your head. I guess I'm going to have to swap for something. Let's try out the Needler, because the Needler is interesting in the first game. Give the Needler a go, why not? It's one of the weapons that sort of really set Halo on the map. And I'm interested to do, like, because they've gotten this opportunity to do new Halo levels, you know? Like, set before the first campaign. So it'll be interesting to see sort of how they design it. And sort of a cool idea in a remake to include a prequel, because like remakes are very much here to stay. Developers are essentially using them to make a cheaper game that has a much higher return rate for the cost made, because, I mean, depending on the game, everything's done already. I mean, a grounds up build like this is interesting, and the fact that they clearly have put a lot of time and effort into making it as new as possible, despite being the original game, there's something about it I can respect, despite it being sort of a desperate money attempt. Look, I would take a really good Halo game over a bodgy sequel any day of the damn week. Oh, the assault rifle. Now, I believe there's a skull you can collect, or an option you can collect to raise the original, because the original ammo capacity for the assault rifle, I believe, is 60 in the first game, and then they lowered it for future games. I think there's a skull you can, collectible you can get. Now, skulls are a big thing in Halo games. You collect skulls that unlock perks, I guess you would call them now, that modifiers that change the game in several different ways. Big part of the Halo games. There's something crazy like 40 skulls in this one. And I don't know, there must be like 4 per level, because there's not that many levels. And usually they're hidden sort of around the map in like sort of out of reach places that you have to do a little bit of cheeky little platforming to get. Also, this game has third person, which I'm very tentatively excited about. Just for something a bit different, you know? And something, it's giving the game some replayability value, which it is such a replayable campaign, and it's so much fun. A needle rifle, like, that's like a Halo 3 thing. That's crazy. Cool, though. All right, I'll get back to the main story. Sorry, Johnson. Where even is he? Oh! Jumped off a crevasse. Oh, yeah, Master Chief's legs. Looking good, Chief. Yeah, just the crispness of the detail. You can see, like, the little LEDs in his readouts on his legs. that measures his thigh gap, how good his thigh gap is. We might see if we can get to Pillar of... Oh, sorry, folks. We've got some hunters, everyone. They have beautiful white, sort of marble white and these gold highlights. So we'll get into like a little... First death, everyone. I got too cocky with the hunters. Let's do some lore while we're here. So essentially, it's the far future. This is a bit of a setting for Halo. For those who don't know anything about it, I haven't played the series. For those of you who are regulars, feel free to skip this bit.
I've seen a lot of weird stuff in my time, Chief. But this takes the cake. Word. Priests.
Okay, so Sarge hasn't seen a hunter before. Interesting. That's cool. Ew. Yeah, Halo hasn't changed that much. So they're also incorporating some things that they established in the sequel. So Oni, I think it was in the second game, and it's humanity's sort of defense AI platform. Now, interesting sort of AI is such a big part of this game, and AI constructs, so fully developed three-dimensional entities, sentient entities are a big part of this game, both made by humans and not made by humans. So interesting to sort of play it in this age of AI, considering sort of the original ideas. You know, it's like I watched all the Matrix in cinemas, and it was very interesting. This looks like a collectible. No. Okay, it's going to be hard to figure out what's collectibles because everything looks so shiny and new. So humanity in the far future, the mid 2100s, so the 22nd century, have gone out across the stars and colonized like humanity would always do. There was an incursion on a few planets, but the first major conflict occurred on a planet called Reach, where humanity came face to face with the Covenant. Now, the Covenant are the main... Oh, are they the main enemies? They're a major antagonist for the Halo franchise and sort of the main enemies you fight as Chief. They're who humanity is engaged in a galactic civil war with. Essentially, humanity reached for the stars and then came to face with an alien menace that said, you've gotten too big for your boots, get back in line. And humanity have been sort of the underdog since. So the Covenant are I'm just going to go through this quickly. The Covenant are a group of races formed under one religious group of ideology, which surrounds Halo and the Halo rings. That's enough of an explanation for now. So that's why they're all these different species, because they're one group but several different species. So there are grunts. These are human names for them, obviously. Play as a human, so you play as Master Chief, who is a genetically modified super soldier in modified hardcore armor called Mjolnir armor, and he's a Spartan. There are several Spartans. Okay, I'm just looking over a platform. It looks like, oh, there's some trees. It's very pretty. Yeah, the environments are they've gone hardcore and making everything look very pretty. There's a whole bunch of different enemy types, but we use sort of what the humans call them. Well, much like how the clone troopers call droids clankers in the Clone Wars, it's sort of a derogatory name for them. So there's grunts. Chief, I feel, is talking too much, is my thing, and which is something they did in the sequel. So they did the original trilogy, the Halo trilogy, which ended on a cliffhanger-ish, and then the original developers, Bungie, handed over the reins to a studio called 343, which is based off one of the names of the one of the first characters in the game.
Acknowledged. Moving to position.
He's talking way too much. So one thing in the original 3 games is that he really doesn't speak much. Like I think originally they were thinking of making him maybe a silent protagonist, but then they just added a few voice lines here and there. And I love that about him, that he'll only, because it gives, not that they do a lot of emotional scenes, especially in the original 3, but it makes any time he does speak really impactful. And just if he's talking like a normal person, yeah, it's something like, yeah. I think it diminishes him a little bit as a character. It makes him a bit less mysterious. Because he's not the same as the human soldiers, and they make that very clear. They're all like, anytime he enters a room, all the other human soldiers are like, oh my God, it's a Spartan. And even the Covenant, they're like, this guy is, who the hell is this guy? They call him Demon in the second game, I think. And they're all like, that's a Spartan, it's a demon, and they're all terrified of him. Was famously the only soldier, the only human that the Covenant feared. And he is, by the time of the first game, meant to be the last Spartan. And I think that was retconned. So they did the original 3, so Halo 1, Halo 2, Halo 3, and they did it's an expansion called ODST, and then a prequel game called Halo Reach, which is amazing. Oh my gosh. A brute plasma rifle. Are we going to run into brutes? The weapons we're getting are from all across Halo. That's, yeah, cool. I didn't realize how hardcore they were going with it. Oh, overshield. Okay, it doesn't just activate. It's an ability. Yeah, okay, so I've got an overshield, which doubles my shield. So the way Halo works is that you have a shield, it diminishes. Once your shield is wiped out, it can recharge, but then you've got health underneath. But yeah, Chief is talking too much for my liking. No, I don't think they've included dual wielding. Dual wielding is very much Halo 2. Well, no. Worth a look. It looks like they've kept certain animations eerily similar. So like the pistol animation, for instance, is very similar. It looks like they've tried to make it faithful. So yeah, I view the Halo games, the main Halo games, very much like Star Wars. So the first 3 I love. I mean, for me, the first one is going to be the best one. I have a big fondness for Halo 3, however. I think Halo 3 might be the best campaign of the original 3. That might be crazy. Oh, it's 2 elites sparring with swords. Oh, and there's a ghost. So a ghost is a Covenant vehicle. So one thing that differs Halo from other shooters is the fact that, what the hell is going on here? There's so much happening. It's such spikers. They're from Halo 3. And they've got like these training dummies. Sorry, there's a lot of interesting stuff that they're doing in terms of like adding little bits of lore and lots of showing and not telling, which is always good in my books. So yeah, there's a ghost flying around. So one thing that Halo is separate from... Can you board? Oh. I can get an energy sword. Obviously.
Contacts on tracker.
Stealth elites. Oh, great. The thing is about the original Halo games is that not only do you fight aliens, but you're also using their weapons, and you can use their vehicles. So like ghosts, which are sort of land vehicles. They're sort of like a cross between a motorbike and a car, but they hover. And their grenades and all things like that. So that really separates it from other studios. Apart from all the sci-fi stuff, obviously. And SMG. It's the SMG from Halo 2. Crazy they're adding all of these weapons back in. Oh. Okay, it looks like I got stabbed by a stealth elite. So we might even go through some old Halo trivia. But yeah, so the first 3 I love. And then they did Halo 4, which I compare a lot to The Force Awakens, because it's a really good start and there are some amazing beats in it. And I feel the way they service the original characters is really good. And the way they explore Chief and Cortana's relationship after the original trilogy is really amazing. And I think what they do in it is super, super brave and super, super interesting. Halo 5 Guardians I hate it as much as The Last Jedi in terms of doesn't feel like a Halo game. It's a co-op game. So there's nothing for single player. Really, the story doesn't even feature Chief, really. It features another guy, and it's like, well, okay, but let's do something interesting with that. So like for Halo 2, for instance, there are dual protagonists. You play as the Chief, and you play as this disgraced Covenant Elite. So it's two very different. A shotgun already? Are you for real? What is going... Also being able to hold to like 60 bullets feels like crazy to me, but I guess that's right. So with Halo 2, you get these two very different worlds, which is cool, which is really cool. And the perspectives is interesting. And it was a bit too ambitious for the original release, but the remake is really good. The remake is on the Master Chief Collection, which is great. Which incidentally started as a Master Chief Collection, now has just like all the original Halo games on it. Apart from 5 and Infinite. I really liked Infinite. I thought it was fine. Story-wise, it didn't do much for me. It just felt like they didn't really know what they were doing and were desperately trying to retcon what they did in Halo 5, which I'm like, fair enough. Halo 5 was poo. As a story, just did everything that could possibly annoy me. Oh, is this guy alive? Oh, yeah, he's asleep. Do you want to calm down, Johnson? Gee whiz. The environments look amazing. And the reflections look good too. Okay, so Chief is reflected on the walls of the Covenant ship. Gee, so the metal effects are just insane. In the original game, I'm pretty sure the Elite voices were abandoned voice lines from the original Johnson, and they had them lowered in pitch and reversed. Here we go. I'm sure there's going to be some things that they will change in the main campaign. So, famously, in the original game, at the end, Sergeant Johnson's fate is left unclear unless you play the legendary campaign, play the game on the hardest difficulty, and then there's a secret cutscene of him fighting with an Elite and then hugging him as they expire. But that turns out not to be, that was just like a joke. But then they kept Johnson around for the next couple of games and sort of explained away or just sort of retconned the fact that he was alive. So I imagine they're going to find an avenue to explain how he survives at the end. But yeah, so Halo 5, yeah, poo in terms of a story. And I feel like the sequels, so 4, 5, and Infinite, really rely on this expanded lore. So really relied on you having to have read all the books and read all the comics. And it just means that your main audience is alienated. Like, obviously, Halo as a game series will have a large casual audience because there's a large multiplayer component. And there'll be people who won't go and read the books. Yeah, his armor is different here. It's not the Mark V armor. What's going on? Is that a prophet? It's one of the prophets.
Well, I'll be damned.
What's a prophet doing here?
Beats me.
Prophets are like the higher... Harmony. I don't recognize Harmony. Yeah, he's a new prophet. So he's probably going to die.
The tenacity of the Ungoi.
That's a grunt.
The cleverness of the
Yep,
Kigyar.
that's a jackal.
The Sangheili.
The Sangheili is the Elite. It's actually really good. It gives you a lot of lore foundations. Oh. Brutes.
And the Jiralhane.
Brutes. But they're being controlled like through mind control?
Okay, Mr. Monologue. Sorry to interrupt, but we're on the clock.
Okay, Mr. Monologue is a really good line. Okay, so Johnson has shot that brute's like control collar, and now that brute's going, for lack of a better word, ape is going, lack of a better word, ape shit. Ape, lack for a better word, ape. Okay, so interesting. So they're introducing a lot of elements from Halo 2 and 3, not just weapons, obviously. Brutes, crazy. They were only introduced in the second one. Okay, my battle rifle is completely out. That's helpful. The sprint seems like it's got a acceleration onto it. Yeah, he ramps up in speed as he runs. So yeah, they're adding in a lot of elements from this from Halo 2 and 3. The original Halo trilogy has got a lot of great inspirations to it. There's a lot of Star Wars in there, and it feels like Star Wars. It has like with Johnson's dialogue there, it has a really good sense of humor, but these galaxy-defying stakes, and there's this political intrigue with how the Covenant works, and sort of their structures and their hierarchies. So the prophets are at the top of their hierarchical chain. Union is formed out of religion. They're essentially popes, I guess you would call them. They're sort of bishops, popes, but they're very much the head of the Covenant agreement, so to speak. And there are different sects. But yeah, their foundation of their religion is all about the rings and Halo. And we'll get more into that later. But interesting to include a prophet here, so Prophet Harmony. There's a Halo TV show as well. I've only seen the first episode, and I just was like, this isn't what I would do with Halo, and it's annoying. Also interesting, so when you hit a brute, a brute acts normal. So in the Halo 2 and Halo 3, basically you launch fire onto a brute, and it'll get to a point where they become enraged and like launch at you. They're justifying this with the sort of the control collar. It's like a control, looks like a little hockey puck, like a Star Wars restraining bolt. And when you hit that, basically they become enraged. So a few things I've noticed already. Also like the particle and lighting effects are just amazing. So he must be some sort of scientist, Harmony, which is an interesting take actually on the prophets. The red sort of dots of the restraining bolts I'm just going to call them restraining bolts now, are giving a nice little sort of red indicator that you can see in the level. Yeah, so Steve Downes was a radio DJ, I believe, and they hired him to do a few voice lines for Chief, and it's become like sort of his main thing since. No, he's very good as Chief. They've just give the character. It's not me saying that he's talking too much is nothing on his performance. His performance is good. It's just I don't think the character should be speaking, especially now, shouldn't be speaking as much as he does. Like, yes, he's a soldier, but he's not the same as the other soldiers. Interesting detail. That grunt there was absolutely scared, and was shaking like a little leaf. Running down the hallway, I muster, Chief, look at my legs. Oh, there might be swearing in this game, actually. There's a little bit of swearing in the first one. It's like, it's PG-13 swearing and violence. Like, there's a lot of blood, and there's some sort of horror themes, mild horror themes. It's a really good action-adventure. So, in terms of things it draws inspiration from, there's a huge amount of Star Wars, and it's got that vibe, the comedy that we were talking about earlier. Aliens, definitely. There's a lot of like colonial marines in there. Like especially all of the UNSC soldiers, so like Johnson and all of that. He's straight from those genre films of that period, like that action soldier. Like he could be in the cast of Predator. You know, he's a mix of those sort of archetypes. Like if you're going to cast him in a movie, like Carl Weathers would have been perfect. And yeah, he's a great character and such a worthy addition. I'm glad they've in this chance of a sort of a remake, they're really emphasizing him because he really works as a character and making more of a established supporting character and establishing him and the Chiefs relationship because he's just a really fun character in the first game, and it's not until the second and third where they actually establish him. And I'm not even sure if he's named in the first one. Bringing all of those elements that were introduced later, or at least thought about for the original game. I know brutes were thought about for the first game, but they got cut for time. A lot of the weapons were cut for time. So just bring all those elements sort of back in the long way round is it's interesting. I'm not sure if, you know, this is where games should be going. Like, I'm sort of surprised they haven't done sort of a prequel game. You know, especially when Halo 5 was difficult. Like, why they didn't do a game bridging a gap, like, you know, like the year before the first Halo game, like when these missions are set. Also, with the Star Wars comparison, Halo Reach, which is, I think it's probably the best Halo game, Reach. It's fantastic. There's also recharging health in this game. So there's the shield and there's health. It probably gets disabled at higher difficulties. Or there's a skull that changes that. But having rechargeable health is crazy. You have to, in the original game, you have to go get med packs. Yeah, actually, the new Johnson voice is a bit like getting used to the new Kermit voice. Like, it is noticeably different, but it has all the elements of feeling like it's hitting the right marks and actually isn't taking too long to get used to. Got a little overwhelmed there. There's quite a few enemies. In terms of the story of the original Halo trilogy, Reach is a prequel that's set, like, honestly, beat for beat, it is Rogue One. Maybe I'll do a comparison video, Halo Reach versus Star Wars Rogue One, because they're both, you know, the way they're received is the same way, and also in the way they reference the original story that they're a prequel to, the way they tell the story, the way the protagonists work, the characters work is different. Like, and just in terms of the commercial and critical reception, it's eerily similar, and I just find it so funny because then you can apply it to the rest of it, like Halo 5 and, you know, which is the second of the sequel trilogy and the second of the sequel trilogy of Star Wars. They both did the same thing. They both did major things to characters that make absolutely no sense and are completely out of character for no reason. Makes less sense with Halo because, look, this will be spoilers for Halos 4 and 5. And 6, actually. Let's complain about Halo 6. They f*** up Cortana royally. They absolutely fuck her up. So she's amazing as a character. Halo 4, she dies at the end of Halo 4. She has a condition called rampancy or AI rampancy because she's too old. And she essentially sacrifices herself to save the Chief and humanity. And her and the Chief have this beautiful conversation because they are very much a pair and their relationship is really well established, that they are the only sort of part human, part machine, and they're not machines and they're not human, and they sort of find a bit of solace in each other. And they are sort of best friends, soulmates. They have like a complicated relationship because of that, and it's not like sexualized in any way. But it's sort of the first time where it really gets real, that relationship. Like they really sort of portray it as a human drama. And it's really sad. And where they could have taken the Chief after, and really brave to go, we're gonna, you know, we're going to kill off Cortana. Really brave and bold and interesting to do that and to see what it would do to the characters. Jen Taylor would stay probably in the franchise as Dr. Halsey. So Dr. Halsey is the creator of the Spartan program, and the AI Cortana is modeled after her. And she's portrayed by the same actress, which is a nice little touch. Right, so she dies in Halo 4. Then she's brought back to life through something rando. Okay, sure, it sort of goes against the whole point of the last game. But, all right, we're changing the story we're telling now, I guess. Cool, man. Oh, let's try the spiker in this game. I was never a fan of the spiker in Halo 3, but... Yep, and I'm not a fan of it now. It's poo. Oh, this ship is called the Triumph of Tolerance. That's a good name. Surprise attack! I don't know how none of you saw me. Chief is about 7 feet tall or something ridiculous. The Covenant, he's tall. He's a really big guy. I think he's about 6.5 feet tall or something. And then the elites are like 8 feet tall. They're quite big. The Sangheili, I want to say. So then they bring her back and she's evil. Like Cortana, I can't. Look, maybe I need to watch the cutscenes again because I don't really want to replay it again. And you sort of are only told this through a couple of cutscenes. Like none of it, the story is that interesting. But the Cortana finds some ancient weapons called Guardians and then becomes like the main antagonist. And it's like, what the hell? It like they in no way justified it. It's like, oh, if she had merged with this evil AI or something as a result of her sacrifice or whatever. But just sort of the way they portray it is so uninteresting and just like, I'm evil now. And just like the actors are doing their best, but it just makes no sense. And the Chief's barely in it. Anyway, really sort of annoying. And I remember playing it and just being like, this absolutely sucks for these characters. Then Halo 6, Cortana dies again, but off screen, and is replaced by this younger model who is ostensibly Cortana, but is sort of like a reboot. Yeah, she's new and she's got clothes on this time, but she is like Jen Taylor does an amazing job of performing as her. Like there are such distinctions between the different versions of Cortana that she plays in the game. And Halsey, she's a very, very good actor. But it's just sort of like, okay, we screwed up. What do we do? Oh, we boot it. We boot Cortana and kill off like proper Cortana off. It's very odd. So Cortana, they fumbled big time. I don't even know. But anyway, so the original game, you play as a super soldier and you start on a ship called the Pillar of Autumn. But now we're traveling with Sergeant Johnson to try and uncover. Like the size of this room, I'm inside sort of this sort of control center. And like it's as big as some of the biggest open world stuff in the original in like Assault on the Control Room, which is like this huge outdoor area. Like quite honestly, like this room is, yeah, it's a modern game room actually. One cool feature is that some of the aliens will speak in their sort of native language, and some of them won't. They'll say sort of limited English, so they'll say something like Spartan or Demon. Also, like that's sort of the first time he's called Demon, because I don't think he's called Demon properly until the second one.
Only makes us stronger.
I don't know how that's the case, because every foe I take down makes you one soldier weaker, in my opinion. But also they've added, but I've been noticing these jackal snipers, which haven't filled me with a huge amount of confidence. I have sort of nightmare flashbacks of my legendary solo run of Halo 3 with all the jackal sniper alleys. Now, where am I going? Head for the Triumph of Tolerance's upper decks. And I do that by going downstairs, level 2.
Out of the frying pan and into world. Whatever the hell this place is.
Is this Blood Gulch?
UNSC signal is stronger here.
Then it looks like we're on the right track. Let's move out. I got your back, Chief.
What the heck? What the heck is going on? So I've entered another aspect of the ship, and it looks like an environment. This actually looks like the Sangheili homeworld, which you do visit in Halo 5. There is a cool mission where you do visit the Elite's homeworld. Sanghelios or something. So I think this must be sort of that. It's a cool idea, you know, to have sort of a environment. They've gone, what can we do in 3 missions? To showcase not only like what sort of story can we tell. Oh, this is interesting. When the brutes go feral, they'll sort of turn on each other. That's interesting. Oh, and so there are Marines here.
We couldn't save them. Let's move to the next signal.
Yeah, there are human Marines here. Being held captive, I guess. Sorry, dude. And that's about all I've got in me for today. So I want to thank everyone for joining us. I want to thank you for joining us for this little deep dive into Halo. Maybe I'll play some more, maybe I won't, but have a great week, everyone. I'll see you later. Bye.